Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, however, my name is Chris. Today is a request video. I have gotten asked so many times to do a video about purchase or pass, or is it full bottle worthy? 2023 is all about not blind buying or doing much less blind buying, and I've been relatively successful in that. I've been doing a lot of sampling. I'm always testing, I'm always sampling fragrances, and I never talk about which fragrances are worth the full bottle and which ones are not, in my opinion. And today I've gathered a big list of fragrances that I have been testing and or tested, and I'm going to tell you if they're worth a full bottle or not. Since this was a request video, if you have any videos you want me to do, let me know in the comments below. And with that, we'll just get started. Now, since I have burned through all of my samples or my testers, I made a bunch of notes so that I can remember what I thought about the perfume. And these are fragrances that I've been specifically asked about. What do I think of these perfumes? A lot of these fragrances had a lot of buzz at the end of last year, and several of these fragrances have quite the buzz associated with them right now. So I'm just going to dive in. I made a little list here. So the first one I'm going to talk about is called God of Fire. Now, I tested almost every new release by SHL, and I didn't find any of them horrible. However, what made me pause with purchasing all of them was the hefty price tag associated, even though the bottles that they come in are spectacular, particularly God of Fire. That bottle is amazing. And if you don't know already, it is a mango forward fragrance, but it's much more than that. It has mangoes, it has red berries, it has some wood in the dry down, it's got some oud. So it's not your typical simple mango shower gel. I can definitely see why it is so hyped. So I put down in my notes that it starts off as a lush tropical drink with red berries, and you get a kick of ginger, and in the dry down you get a lot of oud, you get woods. It has a woody dry down. It has a woody, spicy dry down, which I think makes it very, very unisex. This is a very exotic, very interesting, very powerful mango fragrance. It doesn't resemble any mango heavy fragrance I have in my collection currently. Now the big question is it worth $230 for a 50 ml bottle? And for me right now, the answer is no. I have a couple mango heavy fragrances that I love, that I will be wearing the heck out of in the spring and particularly in the summer. So I don't feel like I'm missing out too terribly with this not being in my fragrance collection, even though I think it's a great release. It's a beautiful fragrance, it's a showstopper, and you are not going to smell like the person walking by you. You're going to smell very individual, very powerful, very exotic. I would say it's very alluring. It's got that profile, that DNA, but for the price point and for what I already have, that would be a no. So I'm going to pass on the full bottle for God of Fire for now. Next on my list, I have a fragrance that is all the rage currently on social media. It is a fragrance by one of my favorite noses, Quentin Biche, and the old me would have blind bought it even at the astronomical price. Maybe a couple years ago, I might have blind bought it with all the hype. And almost every one of Quentin Biche's creations are safe for me. He did all the Dolinas and the Dolina Flankers and Dolina Exclusive, Dolina La Rosée. I love those perfumes so much. And he's created many, many other fragrances that I love. So when I went down to Houston to visit family, I went to a place where I had access to a lot of fragrances. Basically, kind of anything you wanted to smell was available in a 20 block radius. So I did smell Guidance, and that was a shocker for me. I was really happy I did not blind buy it. I remember spraying it on a blotter and then spritzing it on my wrist, and something happened to me that doesn't happen often, is that I got an immediate headache, almost like 30 seconds in. It was a very sharp headache. And I want to say that was because I know it has pear. It has a very strong pear. I would call it like a syrupy pulverized pear. The pear was very sweet and front and center at the beginning. And it has a nuttiness. And nutty fragrances can be very hard for me. So I don't know if it was, and I know it's saffron heavy, so there's saffron, there's nuts, there is this pear. Something was just a little too much for me. And I remember thinking, whew, I am so glad I didn't blind buy that. So I put the blotter in the backpack, went about my afternoon testing other things, came home, and that card in the backpack smelled amazing. You could smell it. I kept my backpack in the kitchen. Out of all the blotters I gathered that day, I probably had 10 to 15. Guidance was going strong days and days and days afterwards. Now I will say the dry down of Guidance is really, really nice. It is a very beautiful sandalwood. It is a sandalwood fragrance, and both me and my very picky mom loved the dry down, but the opening just was not for me and was harsh. It was hard for me. So that, with the very steep price tag, even though I love the dry down, it is going to be a pass. I'm going to put it over here in the pass. It's going to be a pass for me right now. What I think might happen is the dry down was so wonderful and lovely. I think what happened is it was a very hot day in Houston. It was hot and it was humid. And that's not the weather for Guidance. I think, to me, Guidance is more of a fall and cold weather perfume. So I'm going to try it again in the fall, and hopefully by that time, maybe it'll be on sale and go on discount. I mean, my beloved material that I buy at full price from Amouage, and I love that fragrance. You can now get it for half price at several sites. So no for now, but we'll revisit it in the fall to see if it plays better in the colder weather and the prices come down. So the next one I've been sampling a lot. I have a Sephora that's about 5 minutes from my house, so I've been going back and forth and testing. I usually spray one fragrance on each arm and then wear it for at least a half a day, so I have a good idea. I don't think you get a realistic wearing when you just spray on a blotter and that's it. So I have been doing full wears, and the next one I tried is the newest release from Giorgio Armani, My Way. I do not have a My Way. I don't have any of the flankers, although I think it is a very nice white floral perfume, particularly for a designer. It just wasn't something that I felt I had to have in my collection. And so, I tried the new one. It is My Way Parfum, I believe, and it is a very different flanker. The first thing you'll notice when you smell it is you get iris, and I didn't know. I thought My Way was basically white flowers, and I was surprised. It was an unmistakable iris when you smell it. It's like that lipsticky, slightly powdery iris, which is very, very pretty. It smells like a very expensive kind of a niche fragrance when you first smell it, so I thought it was very lovely. And the dry down was nice. The dry down was maybe neroli. It was a little bit more green than the normal My Way. I thought it was lovely. What else did I write down? Lovely, musky, gentle, easy, wet floral. That's what I wrote down. So I don't feel like at this point I need it in my collection, although I think it is a fabulous new release, and I highly, highly recommend testing that out. So those are those two. The next two were more that I tried from Sephora because they're having their big sale. And after I'm done taping this, I'm going to run to Sephora. I have 2 bottles on my list that I do want to pick up while the sale is still going on. The next one was Good Girl Blush. I have not hidden the fact that I absolutely despise the original Good Girl, but love the bottles. I know a lot of people think the bottles are hideous. I think they're kind of really cute. And the bottle, this Good Girl Blush bottle, is the cutest one of all. This pink kind of beautiful opaque nail polish color to the bottle, I absolutely loved. And the fragrance does kind of smell like that. It is a nice take on a peony. It does not smell, thank goodness, it does not smell like the original Good Girl. It has a completely different DNA. It's like a vanilla peony fragrance, which is very nice. It's very pleasant. It's lovely. But I have so many peony fragrances in my collection that I love, that I absolutely adore, that I know I'm dying to wear in the spring and summer. So I just think that Good Girl Blush, even though a lovely new release, will kind of get lost in the shuffle. So let's see what I wrote down. The bottle is perfect. Citrus is in the top. One of the few flankers. It's not like the original. Okay, yeah. So kind of what I just said. So that is it on Good Girl Blush. We're going to put Good Girl Blush in the no category, no full bottle for you. The next one is Black Opium Le Parfum. I liked Black Opium when it first came out years and years ago. And then something about that that orange blossom, syrupy orange blossom, white flower combo that's in a lot of very popular designer fragrances. Somehow, maybe it made me sick on one day where it was very hot. I just can't take it anymore. I don't like it. Now, when I smell it on somebody else, I think they smell good. I smell black opium a lot around here, but it's not for me. And so I basically had given up. I have a flanker of black opium. It's the one that has the rice note in it, and it's still too black opium heavy for me. So I basically had given up on black opium, but I watched Sharita. Sharita had a video. Sharita M had a video on black opium, and she raved about it. So I went ahead and tested it and wore it for one day. Now, when I first sprayed it, I thought, oh gosh, here we go again. This is black opium. It wasn't full on black opium. It was black opium plus some vanilla. But thankfully, I was patient and I let that dry down. And oh my goodness, it is beautiful. It is a gorgeous, I think it has three different, it's vanilla, vanilla, vanilla. I think it has vanilla in the top, mid, and the base. It turned into something completely different. It is a very alluring, dark, deep, very intoxicating vanilla. And maybe 2 days ago, I thought, even though it's really, really good, I don't think I need it. But the more I thought about it, the more I revisited it, and I took home a blot or two. In addition to, I had it on my clothes and I had it on my arm. I thought, yeah, I'm going to get a full bottle of that. It was really, really good. And I'm kind of excited that I have a black opium flanker that I like. So black opium Le Parfum is going in the full bottle worthy category, and it's one of the perfumes I will be purchasing at Sephora at a discount while they're having their sale when I'm done filming this video tonight. So the next one, what do we have? Okay, so we have two of the newest releases from Tom Ford. I was actually asked about these over on Instagram, and I'm a big lover of the original. I think the original Lost Cherry is a masterpiece. It's a cherry masterpiece. It started the cherry craze, and it's a delicious, syrupy, boozy maraschino cherry fragrance with some heliotrope, some almond. It's gorgeous. So I thought, so I got my hands on two of the samples, and so we'll start with Cherry Smoke. First of all, let's talk about the price. The price is for a 50 ml bottle, it's $390. Let me double check that. Yep, it is $390 for a 50 ml bottle and $240 for a 30 ml bottle. So starting off, I mean, you got to do more than smell good if you're at that price. You got to steam clean my clothes and empty my trash. I mean, you're asking for a lot. So going into it, I was already skeptical. But so in my opinion, it is a smoky, woody version of Lost Cherry with an overdose of saffron. This one leans more masculine. I thought it was nice. It's a very nice version of Lost Cherry, basically. Smoky, woody, kind of, it's very nice, but in no way is this full bottle worthy at that price. Maybe at a third of the price, I would get it. Actually, I don't think I would get it. I have Lost Cherry and 18 other cherry perfumes. I do not need it, but maybe at a third of the price, I might get it. But at that price, heck no, that's going in the no category. The next one was Electric Cherry. So Electric Cherry, I believe, is the same price, and that one smells really good. It starts off again, kind of reminding me of a Lost Cherry, but less boozy, less syrupy, less sweet, kind of a little bit more whimsical, like an Escada take on a cherry. And I thought I liked it, but it didn't last forever, and in no way was it worth the astronomical price. I mean, goodness gracious, no. It wasn't giving me anything more than what I have in Lost Cherry, and it was just actually more expensive. I got my Lost Cherry at the cosmetics company store for 55% off. So I wrote down less boozy, less cherry, like a body wash or maybe a body spray. It was very light wearing, and I wrote down it had a musky dry down. So again, that's a big giant no. Okay, next we have Angel Elixir. Another one I tested, and I'm a fan of the original in the dry down. I don't like the opening of the original Angel, but I still think it's a masterpiece. And I love Angel EDT that came out in 2019. So I was kind of excited about a new Angel. I was excited about a new flanker of Angel coming out. I was kind of hoping for something really new and unique, and maybe a flanker I'd like even more than the Eau de Toilette that came out in 2019. So I was completely shocked when I tried this one. It was nothing like Angel. I mean, I don't even know why they call it Angel. To me, it smelled like a combination, or if you took black opium and a vanilla heavy alien and you combine the two, you would come up with Angel Elixir. So do not blind buy this thinking that you're going to get a heavy version of Angel. It smells nothing like it. You might love it, but you should test it first. So Angel Elixir is going in the no full bottle category. The next one we have is 724 by Maison Francis Cook John. And I love clean and fresh fragrances. I just did a video on clean and fresh fragrances. Out of my perfume collection, clean and fresh take up a significant portion of what I own. I love to smell clean and fresh. I love to smell people that smell clean and fresh. It's very easy. It's very safe. You can smell clean and fresh anywhere and not bother people. It's very safe. So when 724 came out, I was really interested in it, and I think it got kind of bashed. I think a lot of people, or at least some people that I have talked to over on social media or message, they just were underwhelmed. But for me, I like it. I don't need another clean and fresh fragrance. I need another clean and fresh fragrance like I need a hole in my head, and yet I really, really liked this perfume. I think it's like the best version of clean laundry, like a clean laundry fragrance. The other fragrance in my collection that's like a very elevated clean laundry smell is Meliora by Parfums de Marly, but that would be like a fruity clean and fresh laundry, like a fruity floral clean and fresh. This one is like clean and fresh in the soapy category, but it's not like soapy, green soapy, like you're smelling soap. This is like very crisp, clean, refreshing, lots of aldehydes, fresh, like clean laundry at the nicest Manhattan hotel that you can stay in. I imagine them pumping this aroma through the air at the hotel. It's just very, very nice. So what did I write down? I wrote down that I didn't need it, but I'm going to get it. So this is going in the full bottle worthy category. And I have seen it at Joma Shop already at a discount. So I'm going to get it at a discount. And that is that. So the next one, I think I only have, the next one I have is Dolce Diablo. And if you are a return subscriber or viewer, you know that I am a gourmand lover. So I thought for sure it would be a slam dunk yes. And when I tried it for the first time, I thought, wow, this smells exactly like a chocolate apricot dessert. I would love to eat that, but for whatever reason, I just didn't want to smell like it at the time. So when I thought of doing this video, this was going to be in the no category. I liked it, I thought it smelled great, but no. So maybe a couple days ago, I got out my decant and I sprayed it again, and I thought, wow, it smells really good. And I really, really enjoyed it. So I moved it from the no to the yes pile, but I will not be purchasing a bottle. Well, we're gonna say we'll see. I'm gonna say we'll see about it. It's not a summertime fragrance, it's not spring and summer, it's something in the cold weather, in my opinion. So we're gonna move it out of the no and into the maybe category. I will revisit that with guidance when the weather turns cold again, like right before fall. I'm gonna smell it again, see what I feel about it at that time, because it's not cheap, it's over $200. See how I feel, and if I really like it again like I did a couple days ago, then I will purchase it, and hopefully I might be able to get it on a discount. The other one was one called Brioche. Now, it really wasn't making any waves here on YouTube, but it got a ton of hype over on Instagram, and I love anything that has a carb note in a fragrance. I mean, if you have bread, you have rice, you have starch, biscuit, you name it, I'm going to be very interested in purchasing that fragrance. And I think there's only one note in here maybe. It's like brioche. I thought, oh my gosh, that's going to be amazing. And to make matters even more interesting is they only made 150 bottles. So that really got people stirred up. So I went to blind buy. This was last year when I was still a ding-a-ling, still doing a lot of blind buying. And thank goodness it was sold out. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed out on buying a perfume named Brioche. This is terrible. That could have been the best fragrance ever. So I got my hand on a sample. They still had samples available, and thank goodness I tested it, because now miraculously they made more bottles. More bottles are available. And if I hadn't tested it, I probably would have blind bought it. And I'm so glad I didn't, because it doesn't smell like a brioche. I mean, I guess if you made brioche out of pickles and hay, yeah, it smells like brioche bread, but it smelled nothing like a fresh baked, woody, maybe a buttery perfume, bready perfume, starchy perfume. That's the perfume I wanted. And it has this weird green note like dill or pickle or some sort of herb, and it definitely has hay. I smell hay. I'm going to put the notes up. I'm sure it doesn't have hay as a note, but I get hay. I get hay and some green herb. So big no for that one. I'm so glad I tried that one. The last one I'll go over is one that's getting a lot of hype. It's called Soie Malaquais, and I was very good. I did not blind buy. I went to go try it when I was down in Houston, and they were like 2 days away from getting the line there in Saks Fifth Avenue. And so I bought the Discovery set. I bought the set. If you want to see me do a review or a discussion of the whole set, I'm more than happy to, because it has some pretty good fragrances in there. But Soie Malaquais is the one that's getting the most hype, and the one I was considering. For a small second, I considered purchasing without smelling it, but I'm glad I didn't, because this is running around $300 now. This is a spectacular perfume. It is delicious. And the reason I didn't blind buy it, because it has a nutty note. I want to say macadamia, something like that. And nuts can be hit or miss for me. Sometimes they can be horrible. So yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, that's the reason I didn't blind buy it. So it has like cocoa, a little bit of rose, some macadamia or nuts, got like silk or cashmere in it. And admittedly, it is a beautiful, very smooth, silky, like liquid cacao, rose, fruity, black currant, jam, silky smooth with like a nut syrup that is very, very lovely. It is a gourmand done very, very well, and it's not overly foody. It is definitely gourmand in my opinion, but it's not foody. So if you don't like to smell like food, this is definitely falls in that range of more universally appealing. However, at this point, it is a no, because even though it's quite beautiful, it's going to be a no. I just don't feel like I have to have it at $300. Maybe at half the price, I would purchase it. And for whatever reason, maybe it's the weather, maybe it's me, I wasn't getting great longevity. So yeah, so that is it on my purchaser pass, full bottle worthy or not. That'll be my first video. If you like this type of video and you want to see more, let me know in the comments. I'd be more than happy to do that. If you want to see me do kind of a house review on Dries Van Noten, especially the newest ones that came out, I'd be happy to do that too. Let me know in the comments. So once again, thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching me. Thanks for stopping by. And with that, I'll see you in the next one.